What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for checking out another video for me here on YouTube. This video is coming from Chaney at Roaring Knob MX in Markleysburg, Pennsylvania. This is the Open C class, and he's on a 2015 CRF 450. It is his third race. Stock bike with a full Yoshimura exhaust, and he says he usually practices here. Not really racing though, so the ruts and braking bumps caught him off guard. But let's take a look at his race. You can hear the revs going up, gate about to go down, and there it is off the starting line. Not too bad of a jump. I have no room to talk about starts. Coming around about third place in the first corner, pushes it pretty wide. You can see the track is very, I want to say mulchy, I guess. Looks like he's in fourth place here coming down this hill. I've watched this once already, 2 nights ago though. So grabs that inside, gets up the hill, kind of playing follow the leader a bit. Gets a little sideways going around that corner, trying to hold the inside, but able to hold on to fourth place still. Up and over this jump, which looks terrible to land right where he does. It looks very hard. Everyone taking that exact same line. He looks over his shoulder because the lines kind of come together there. Don't blame him one bit for that. Got a few ruts coming in here. Gets a little over the front there. Let's see, coming around. I remember this section looks like a pretty cool section here. Comes up, little like double roller section, and then he hits this jump. Looks like it could be a triple. It's kind of like a tabletop with a camel hump. Oh, and he over jumps that double. The kid next to him goes flying by, makes up a lot of time there. So back into fifth place for the time being. Again, the track has a few split lines, but it seems like everyone's taking the same one. Take the outside, able to double, and then has to roll through the singles here. But probably trying to settle in, and probably still adrenaline running from the start and just that first lap. I know that's how it is for me when I race. Right off the bat, you just have the adrenaline pumping. You're going absolutely crazy, and he goes down there, taking the inside line, trying not to follow that two-stroke, and it looks like really just got his front tire caught in some deeper stuff and just gets bucked over the bars. Kind of a weird crash. He kills the bike before picking it up. Not really sure how to justify that. Must just feel more comfortable doing so. But lots of people going past him at this point. Might actually be everyone in the class. I do think he said there's 8 people, so I think he got up in 8th place there. Not even a full lap in. That was probably about 3/4 of a lap. You can see the track actually has quite a few ruts around the whole thing. I like these jumps around this corner, kind of a 6-pack, 3 doubles in a row as you go around a quarter, and then the little step up. This Knob Hill MX looks pretty sweet. If any of you ride here, let me know for sure. Leave it down in the comments, and maybe you can meet up with Sean sometime and say hey to him. Like I said, this was his third race. If you want to check out more videos from Sean, check out his channel, which will be linked down in the description. But making his way downtown, getting through the track, kind of getting hung up on that inside rut. You can see a lot of people taking the same lines. If you look on the outside there, it still looks like a churned up, prepped, dry prep now, like just chunks of dirt. Like just no one's taking any different lines. Pretty cool section here though, through the finish line into some rollers, and here we are back at the start straight, grabbing that rut. You can see he's making up time on someone else in the class, so that's always nice when you've had a crash to be able to have something to strive for. I feel like he kind of got a little nervous with that rider in front of him. He coasted down that hill really hard and then kind of missed his mark on the corner. I think he just didn't want to come together with him. Able to make the easy pass though, and then take that inside again over that tabletop, which is actually a line I don't really agree with, but it's so easy to sit back here and judge. I know people do it to my videos too, but when you're in the moment, it's a much different experience than just sitting here in the comfort of my chair at my desk and watching the race and being very nitpicky about it. But here he goes, taking the outside again, and we're going to come up on that big triple. So it looks like if he just had a little more speed, like, oh, that looks like such a hard landing, because you have the roller that would be like a double, and then you have the downside of the triple, and there he goes, tripling that nice and smooth. But when you land in between the two, it's like flat landing, and it looks like the jump actually pops you up pretty high. So every time you hit that, it's going to just wear you out. And there, it almost seemed like he caught a neutral or something, about to go over the bars. Luckily, he didn't, but didn't to get the drive over that first little double that he expected. And we saw him double it last lap, so we know he knows the track and knows that double. So just a strange little hiccup there. But as he stated, he does practice on the track and not used to the ruts and bumps that form during a race day, and I totally understand that. At Aztec, it's the same way. You guys know I ride a lot of Aztec, but you just can't practice these conditions. Sure, you can go to other tracks that might be rougher, but the way the track shapes up during a race day, there's so many more riders, so many more laps put on it, so many more tires going over the same part of the track, that's just something you really can't replicate. So when it comes race day, it's always a new experience. Hitting that rut pretty well, though. You saw his left foot out, and just really good getting that foot up above the rut, using it as a rudder to get around the corner, and there you go again. Not even dabbing the foot, really, which is something I have a lot of trouble with. One thing I did notice, again, being quite nitpicky while watching these, but really cool, he's running the Pro Shot, same camera that I use, and of course that's proshotcam.com, but it shows your bars and your levers so well. You can tell he does not use his front brake. I think a little later on he grabs it a few times, but look into that corner, never touching the front brake. He does a really good job of keeping a finger resting on the clutch. Looks like his index finger on the left side there, obviously, you guys know that, but always good to keep a finger there in case you need to keep the bike from dying, or do a brake tap or something. But he's just coasting into a lot of corners, and I think he's getting tired in this moto. You can kind of see he starts to get worn out. He looks around different ways. I think he makes, like, that was kind of just a goon corner, a little silly corner, but that's the kind of stuff that happens when you aren't used to racing and you get tired. And on one hand, again, sitting in my office chair, it's so easy to be like, oh, we're 6 minutes in, how are you all already tired? But if you guys have ever raced before, you know that it takes so much out of you, especially when you have a crash. It gets your heart rate up there, your adrenaline going crazy, and then after that, you're just kind of playing catch up the whole time. Still hitting that section really well, the little double, triple thing there. He takes this inside, which not many people were taking, almost comes to a complete stop though, and then he doesn't have the speed to hit that double out of it. So you can see why he wouldn't want to be taking that inside, probably have to seat bounce that double. And for a C class, I can understand that being kind of a difficult jump. It might pop you over the bars or something. There you can see him kind of take his hand off the left grip. I think that's a pretty solid indicator of how tired his arms are getting. He's probably pumping up pretty hard. So you'll start seeing he kind of like wiggles his fingers, like waves them on the bars. And at one point he actually takes his left hand totally off the bars. I do it a lot myself too. I'll wiggle my fingers like over jumps and stuff, and it just kind of helps loosen up your forearms. But just a little bit more evidence of him getting pretty tired during this race. Making his lines though, grabbing that inside pretty well. Again, really no front brake. Like here, just coasting down this hill. Of course, you could charge harder, but at the same time, anytime I watch my videos, I realize I could charge harder too. Able to hit that double out of the inside line. I think this is a trap a lot of people fall into. You hear a lot of times the pros talking about how like clever someone like Marvin Musquin is because he finds the smooth lines. I feel like a lot of us racers and riders, as we ride the track throughout the day during a race, we really aren't looking for different lines. Looks like probably 2 more laps to go because that wasn't a white flag there. And we just get sucked into taking the same lines every single lap. And I know he did switch up that one I talked about. And I think he, looking over his shoulder, he switches up this line. I think next lap he grabs the inside yet again here. Pretty tight inside there. You got to slow down quite a bit to grab that. But you just get stuck taking the same lines every lap, and you don't really trust yourself to find a different line. Like this corner here, you take the inside, and then he jumps his tabletop, and smack right there. If he took the outside, I think he would easily be able to clear that jump. I feel like he has the skills, and then he could take the outside line. But you just get so used to taking the same line every single lap that you almost get afraid to take something else, and it's something I myself fall into as well. So here we go, coming back up on this high-speed section in the back wooded area. Pretty crazy track going in and out of shadows. I can't imagine how hard that is to ride. Another hard landing there, and then the little double, kind of out, and then the triple over. So I don't know if you could triple that first one where he cased it. The kid who passed him was flying by, so I think it could be possible that you could actually get that, but takes the outside and gets that first double. Not able to double the other ones out of that section, but at least getting that first one down. This might be where he takes his hand off. I don't recall completely. Yep, right there. Pulls his hand off. We can't see even in the shadow if he's just shaking it or maybe he readjusted his goggles or his helmet, but just another indicator that he's getting pretty worn out. I think this is a 5 or 6 lap race, which is pretty common from what I've seen here in America. Anytime I post a racing video, I'll get comments of someone who's like, oh, in Denmark we run 20 minutes plus 2 laps, and it's like, okay, well, here in America we don't. I don't know what to tell you. Good for you guys over there, but just trying to get through it. You can see he's just kind of coasting through these sections, not really charging. It also makes it hard when you don't have someone in your sights to be chasing down. It always helps after you've had a crash like this. He had that first guy to chase down. He got him pretty quickly. If he had someone who was close enough that he felt he could get them before the end of the race, I feel like Sean here would have been pushing a lot harder, potentially making up more ground and making a pass. But when you kind of don't have that light at the end of the tunnel, it's very easy to become complacent. There you go. There's the white flag. Become complacent and not really push yourself and just coast it home. I've definitely been there myself. So here we go again. One more time through the first corner area. He's going to take that outside line, hand off the bars again. Just taking it nice and easy down to the finish, picking the ruts through here, back up the hill. Again, this looks like a really cool track. I like all the elevation changes, and of course it's always much bigger on in real life. Hey-o. The GoPro dumbs it down quite a bit. I like that tabletop. I feel like you could be jumping. I'm surprised no one takes the outside inside there, especially since this is just a little single. You don't need the speed to clear anything out of it. I wonder if you could hip jump over that. Probably not. That'd be a very massive jump, I guess. Yet again, though, back through this section, avoiding those ruts, taking the outside here, going into the back section of the high-speed area at Knob Hill MX. Coming up double, and then into the camelback triple. He kind of downsides the double that time. That actually looked like a much smoother landing. Double, and triple in that back section. I like that a lot. And here is probably the most shady into one of the brightest sections of the track. The GoPro even has trouble adjusting right there. Able to get that double and then roll through the rest of these rollers. Probably bigger than rollers. I guess those are actual meant to be doubles. Probably couldn't tire tap through them or anything. Again, making his way through, he obviously has quite a bit of room up to the next rider and quite a bit of a gap on the guy behind him. He did pass that person pretty quickly with no issue at all, so it's safe to say he has quite a bit of a gap here. And again, just really nothing to keep him pushing forward. Still hitting those corner doubles. I like that section a lot. But just sailing this one home. Up the little step up. I wonder if people can triple up that. That'd be pretty cool. Back down the hill. Just coasting it. You can hear he's not even on the gas. Just coasting into this rut. Grabbing that inside. Getting that foot up. Again, I'm really impressed with how he doesn't dab his foot. Every time I go around a corner like that, I have a tendency to dab my foot down before I get up and going. Last few corners here, coming around, long right sweeping rut, then up the hill, and here we go up to the finish line. So Sean in this race did get a 7th place out of 8 riders after that crash. Good job on your 3rd race, Sean. If you guys want to check out more footage from Sean, be sure to head over to his YouTube channel. It'll be in the description. And Sean is one of my Patreon supporters, and so he kind of had first dibs on this after Tyler. If you guys would like me to do something like this of your race videos, preferably some of your first ever race videos, send them in. I'll have an email down in the description you can send them to. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, as always, take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. We'll talk to you later.